Hello and welcome back to Screaming About Dead White Guys. Today is the 27th of August 2024, aka the 242nd anniversary of the death of John Lawrence. I thought it would be a pretty funny and normal idea to celebrate the occasion by compiling and rating a few different depictions of his twink death. This video will contain spoilers for Lauren's Wikipedia page. Alright, we're starting out strong with the very terrible TV movie documentary that came out in 2017 or 2021 according to the YouTube title of the movie that has a typo in it. The scene's silly long, so I've edited it down. You're welcome.
They are here! On me, lads! Make ready! Present fire! Ugh!
Seriously, this entire movie is truly an experience. I highly recommend watching the whole thing. Everything in it is so needlessly dramatic. I had a great time, but I digress. The actual death scene is hilarious to me. I love that he goes Martha like he's Batman or something, which is ironic for reasons we will get to. I love that he thinks about his wife in his dying moments, even though this very movie went out of its way to establish how terrible of a husband he was. Also, she died a year before he did, and the fact that he doesn't even know that makes the scene funnier. Also this random shot of Henry Lauren's face gets me every time. I give this 4 Gregory D. Massey straight washed biography out of 10. It gets an extra point for actually being about Lawrence, unlike our next entry. Okay, this is the one I was dreading because I don't want Disney's lawyers to come to my house and get my non-existent wife and kids. The risks I take for this man, SMH. Anyway.
I may not live to see our glory.
Alexander, there's a letter for you.
It's from John Lawrence. I'll read it later.
But I will gladly join the fight.
No, it's from his father.
His father?
And when our children tell our story,
Will you read it for me?
they'll tell the story of tonight.
On Tuesday, the 27th, my son was killed in a gunfight against British troops retreating from South Carolina. The war was already over. As you know, John dreamed of emancipating and recruiting 3,000 men for the first all-black military regiment. His dream of freedom for these men dies with him.
Tomorrow there'll be more of us.
Alexander, are you all right?
I have so much work to do.
Hamilton music sounds good and Anthony Ramos has a pretty voice. Groundbreaking take, I know. I like that Lin-Manuel Miranda makes this face. It's a good face. I like that Lawrence looks like he's trying not to laugh. He can barely contain his joy after finally leaving his flesh prison. Though I'm taking away points because dying is the most significant thing Lawrence does in this entire musical, and it's not even on the album. Why is this not on the album? I need answers. I'm giving this a solid 6 single dad Lawrence drawn by the Miku Binder Jefferson artist out of 10. Moving on. This is the part of the video where I realize that John Lawrence really isn't that prevalent in media, so I decide to include a random educational video I found on YouTube. Enjoy.
On August 27, 1782, Lawrence was leading a squad of 50 men in a maneuver against a British foraging party, west of Charleston. They were ambushed, and Lawrence was fatally shot while leading a charge. His death was mourned by many. George Washington said of Lawrence, "He had not a fault that I could ever discover." Since then, many historians have wondered, had Lawrence lived, might this well-connected, charismatic young man have moved the United States towards an earlier emancipation of enslaved people?
Best version of the Peel portrait for real. This is what Lawrence would have wanted. This is the best death scene so far. I love how he just disappears into thin air. I do wish they included the rest of the quote where G. Wash calls him out for being a raging Suzaku Korarugi. I'm giving this 7 flash animation tutorials for beginners out of 10.
At least I go out like this, being
Batman.
Next up is that one Washington biopic I'm obsessed with. Lawrence doesn't even appear in this scene, but we are starving in this house, so we'll take what we can get.
Yes? General Washington? The dispatch from South Carolina. Colonel Lawrence.
Yes, a message?
No, sir,
Well, for God's sake, what is it?
he was leading a band of irregulars against the British outside Charleston. He was killed, sir. I can't believe it.
John. Dead. Why? A pointless skirmish. The war all but over. My God, why?
I'm biased, but this scene is actually really good. I love that Hamilton looks like he's trying not to laugh in this shot. Tilghman is just awkwardly standing there, and I feel that. Also, Lawrence in this movie is played by the late Kevin Conroy, known as the iconic voice of Batman, so my earlier joke finally makes sense. I'm giving this 8 stock photos of a patriotic old man who somehow has the same taste in movies as me out of 10.
And historians will call them.
Okay, last but not least, I wanted to include Duty and Inclination. I don't actually own this book, and I don't even know if Lauren's death scene features in it, but I know it's epic because it's got a 4.5 on Goodreads and Rebecca DuPont is a certified legend. This is getting an automatic 10A03 error 404 pages out of 10. Goodbye everyone, and RIP John Lawrence. You would have loved AJR.